Jock Journal Radio. Jock Journal Radio brings you NFL Talk Late Night. Just two hardcore fans talking football after their kids have gone to bed, and they invite you to join our conversation. If there's a hot topic or even a cold topic, these chumps will be jawing it up every night. So leave those nudie sites alone and call us. And if you're lucky, they might give you my number. NFL Talk Late Night from Jock Journal Radio.
Merry Christmas to one, to all, and to all you Jock stars out there. I hope you guys are all happy. We got Matt back. I know I've been getting a lot of texts, a lot of emails. I'm Nash.
And I'm Matt.
And you're listening to NFL Talk. Guys, so many people were asking, when's Matt going to be back? When's Matt going to be back? It's not like any of these guys did a bad job when you were gone. In fact, they all did really, really, really well. Javi pitched a hit. We had a couple of times with Frank, and they all just did a really, really good job. I'm so impressed with how things came together. But you're back, you're home, you're safe, everything's good?
It is, yeah, it's really good. I wanted to give a special just thanks to Javi and to Frank as well for, I know that kind of probably put him out a little bit, but they stepped up and filled in, and they did an amazing job, and I just wanted to say a big thanks to them. And, they were probably a little too nice to you. That's why I guess they'd like me back, I'm sure.
Actually, it's 100% the case. I've actually got, hey, I love hearing you guys argue. There's no arguing that's going on. I think actually Javier said, I couldn't agree with you more 15 times last night when we were talking about the games. It was crazy. But in fact, I actually had somebody texted me, I couldn't agree with you more. I got that text 3 times. It was weird. Yeah. But
everyone dislikes the villain until the villain's gone.
Yeah. The villain makes the show sometimes, and well, you're definitely the villain of this situation. Guys, go ahead and get familiar, because jockjournal.com has a brand new area of their site which you can listen to us live in the moment right now, this very second. You just go over to jockjournal.com/JJR, and it'll just start playing. You'll hear my voice right now speaking to you all over. It's one easy little stop. jockjournal.com/JJR. Also, from there, you can find our phone line, which, in case you're not there, I'm not in front of a computer because we are now mobile. You can find us at 405-562-5463. Also, on that page, you'll see our text line, which is 77948. You type the word text, space, and then your message. But if you're right there at that page, there's no need to go anywhere else because we have a form. You just simply put in what you want read on the air, and we'll go ahead and read it. It's direct right to us. So we're going to have the opportunity to have the type of back and forth dialogue that I love to have, not only with you, Matt, but with all the people out there in Radio Land. So I hope that you're all excited for what we have. The last show before Christmas, and this is a wonderful opportunity, but there's 2 more things I want to talk about, one of which is we have an app. Yes, it finally happened. We caught up with the 21st century, and you can find our app just by going to jockjournal.com. Look at the top of the page, and right there in the menu, download our app. Now, it's not available in the iTunes store. It is not available in the Android store yet. However, that's going to happen. It's just a delay process. You got to go through all these little hoops and all these little things, but it's ready.
Yeah,
it's ready for
building
you.
It.
Oh, it's there. Yeah, it's all there. It's all there. It's built. It's just they have to put it through the process of publishing it, and then it's got to go through a screening process to make sure it's not full of viruses and AIDS and all that other stuff.
AIDS,
HIV.
Oh God,
computer HIV.
Glad to be back. Your cheesy jokes, good one.
Okay, so. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened this vacation? And it was a pleasure meeting your lovely family, 3 boys plus 1 in the oven. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. It was nice. We stopped in Oklahoma City and had dinner with Nash, and the dinner was very nice. The only thing about that is, and I had to deal with this 2 times there. Those ticket places are like kid casinos. They're just absolutely brutal. And I think we talked about this. It just, by the end of the night, I was so over those tickets because your kids just it's not like you're spending time with each other anymore. They just get ticket fever. And then all they want to do is do the tickets. And then it's like 45 minutes while they pick out a 5-cent toy with these effing tickets, and I just wanted to shoot myself. So I had a blast. I had a great time. At the end of the day, what is a vacation? A vacation is really just a chance to create some memories for your kids when they're younger that they'll remember for their lifetime. And we had a good time, and the kids actually probably one thing they will remember is there was no snow. We went up there to do the snow thing, and it didn't snow in Wisconsin.
How does that happen?
I know it's warm everywhere, and and then on the last couple of days it got cold there. And the one thing we did get to do is we don't have a ton of woods here. We live in the suburbs, so eventually maybe I'm going to buy some land. But we went down to my wife's parents' house, and we go outside, and there's this big wooded area there, and we hiked to a creek, and the creek was all iced over. And so we got to hike for about an hour, just crushing ice, breaking through it and playing around on it. And it was just, they had a really good time with that. And so, yeah, we had a great time. And then I actually flew my wife back because my 2-year-old was really sick of being in the car. And then me and the other 2 boys road dogged at home, and they did really good. I was shocked. 12 hours a day, 2 days, we drove right home. So it was awesome. All in all, a blessing. And I got home, but just like a vacation, when you get home, it is nice to be home.
It really is. It really is. So, guys, welcome back, Mac. We all welcome you back. It's going to be 2016 soon, and so many things are kind of in that transitional state, as you are probably going to be transitioning back to work here after the Christmas holidays. But we wish you and everybody else a happy and Merry Christmas.
Definitely. One thing I want to say real fast, I'll just cut in here real quick. Sometimes it takes going other places. We went to, I think, 5 different states, right? We went into Minnesota, into Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma. The minute I got back into Texas and hit the Texas border, I got to tell you, I have known people all through my life that were from Texas, and every time you asked them, they just said, yeah, I live in the greatest state in the country, Texas. You ask someone where they're from, most people won't just say, I'm from Texas. It'll be, I'm from the great state of Texas, the greatest state there. It'll be something. And when I crossed that Texas border, I felt that for probably the first time. I live in Texas. It's 75 degrees here in December. I wore shorts today. The air smells good. I live in a beautiful, beautiful place, and I do live in the great state of Texas, and I have never been happier to be from Texas after going to some other places.
Well, Matt, the guys from Free Parking, the boys back in the woodshed, said, welcome back. And with that, it's time to go to Shock the Jock.
So now that one of these asshats has nerve damage from the Shock the Jock, we play a little differently. They have a question, so surprise them with your answer. You could win money if it's shocking enough.
Can you send me the link to the show?
Okay, we are back, guys. I want to say that Matt is going to be setting up the Shock the Jock question for tonight. He talked with me before the show, so we're going to hand it over to Matt.
Hey, guys. I wanted to talk about something here tonight, and this just crossed my mind. So my wife's pregnant, as you guys all know, and just watching her be uncomfortable with it and deal, we went to the mall today and in the maternity store. It got me thinking, what I'd like to hear from you guys out there, the best pregnancy story that you have. And as I was thinking about this, the reason that it came to mind was because my good friend Nash here, at one point, one of my favorite stories of all time, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and Nash had told me, hey, we're going to the hospital, and I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there's a picture of his wife mid-labor, like probably mid-stomach up, obviously, not showing anything, but just face dripping sweat, hair everywhere, looked like mid-push, right? And he posted it to Facebook. I have never in my life laughed that hard just thinking about the ass chewing he is going to get the minute she gets done with labor and realizes that he posted a picture of her like that on Facebook. Most genius thing ever. So here's what I'd like. I'd like you guys to let us know your best pregnancy story. What's happened? What went wrong? Your wife did something. You messed up. You got there late. Give it to us. Let's hear what you have with your best pregnancy story.
Yes, and that picture is actually still on Facebook. So all those who have Facebook friended me and stuff like that, and I'm sure I'm going to get tons of requests tonight, you can go ahead and see that scared looking big bellied wife of mine with almost sympathetic piercing doe eyes, like a deer that's asking to be shot to be put out of its misery. Right there on my Facebook. It has stood the test of prosperity, and Matt's cute little comment below it that says, "Your wife is going to kill you for posting this." But go ahead and text 77948 and type the word text, space, and then the message. Or, like I said, you can go to the forum right there on jockjournal.com/JJR and put all that in. Tell us what your crazy, manly, but crazy pregnancy story. I'm sure there's tons of them out there, and the most shocking, the most alarming, the most crazy has that chance of pulling in $50.
Yeah.
All right. So, Matt, we have a few things to talk about. Now, we've been holding some of these for a little while, but I guess one of the things that we've been talking about is a great debate. Okay, before we do, I got to go ahead and from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, I wonder who this might be, said, I looked like a pregnant Mad Hatter. I think that was my wife from the other room actually trolling the show on this one. So awesome. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. It's the truth of the matter is that we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. And the thing is we're going to talk mostly about a discussion that Matt and I were having on his way back. Do you sit players for the playoffs? Do you sit them?
Oh, God.
Or play them if there's nothing to gain by playing them? Matt.
Nothing to gain. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I think you know how I feel on this because we talked about it, but I'll tell everyone out there. You absolutely don't sit your players. You go out, and I know some teams are going to do it. This is not what I'm saying. You manage your team however you like. But I am of the opinion that you play game to game to win that game. You go out there on any day, and you go out there to play the best football that you can play. You don't sit your players. Why? Because no matter what game it is, pride is on the line for you. You have a lot of stuff on the line, and you go out and you play every single game as hard as you can. And I think teams that sit players, I just think that, first and foremost, I think it's just bad form. I don't think it's competitive to do that, and I think it shows a lot of disrespect to the other team. Second, I think it can really damage a team. So let's take someone like the Arizona Cardinals going into Seattle, the last game of the year, right? Even though they lock up a playoff spot, you say, oh, well, they sit a game. They sit their players. Well, here's what happens. If they lose that game, that can actually subtly in their subconscious start to kind of create a losing trend. Then you're going into the playoffs on a loss. That's not what a team wants or needs. I say you play them every single game. Win or lose, you go out there and do it. I'm not in it to be scared. I don't like football teams that play just to, they play super conservative. Like when Andy Reid does it with the Chiefs, playing with a lead. Oh, now we're going to, being super conservative. Look what happened to the Lions when they did that conservative one and they lost in the end of the game to Green Bay. That I say, if you got them on the ropes, you put your foot on the gas and you play all of your players no matter what. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay. Now, I have heard what you had to say. And first off, I want to attack the disrespect thing. I don't see it as any level of disrespect for you to go into another person's house, or even if they're coming to your house, and you not playing your best players, if there's nothing to gain by playing them. Why would you want to sit there and put a player out, say, like, let's take a look at just the scenario of the Seahawks, for example, okay? They're in a 5th seed for the playoff spot, and if they win today, there is nothing more, or not today, but this weekend. If they win this weekend, there is nothing more that they can gain because they've locked up the 5th seed. They can't go to the 4th seed. They can't win the division, even when they play the Arizona Cardinals next week. They can't do anything
Good.
at
I
that
hope they
point.
sit all of their
It's
players
an exhibition
forever.
game at that point. It is an exhibition game. And what do you do with exhibition